obviously you're aware today that Braehmer hasn't shown up. What we believe will happen, we're just waiting for official confirmation, is that Nathan will be declared champion, and we are looking at an opponent for him to defend against on Saturday. We hope that we will have a name before close business today. We're talking to a few people, a few fighters who've got good records and are ranked, and it's just a matter of trying to agree terms with one of them. Obviously very disappointed, mostly for Nathan and the public who bought tickets to watch the event. Our driver, one of our drivers, was waiting at the airport for Braehmer. He didn't show up. He made a phone call to Dean Powell, who then rang the German, his German representative, who said that he'd missed the plane, but he'll catch the plane tomorrow, which was this morning. Driver went there again. He never showed up, and then we heard on the internet that the fight was off, and eventually we were told by the Universum that he was out due to a cut eye. We received a medical from him 2 days ago. He didn't have a cut eye 2 days ago, yet I think it's a German newspaper, Bild, who said that it's a cut that opened up, which was 1.5 weeks old and has opened up again. Well, it's not in his medical. It's disgraceful the way this is, what's happened here. Nathan's got a real problem at the moment that he's trained very hard to fight a southpaw. Trained the hardest he's ever trained, and you can bet your life he won't be fighting a southpaw on Saturday when we get an opponent. So it's a real problem for him, and I do feel for him. And this is, to say this is totally unprofessional is an understatement. It's times like this when you get broadcasters involved. For example, Epics were covering the fight or are covering the show in the States. You get them on board, and then people act in this manner, having the decency, the courtesy to even phone up to tell us. And we have to read about it on the internet. And you wonder why it's difficult to get sponsorship and TV companies to stay with boxing. It's really the bad side of the sport. And, the people involved with Braehmer, they need to, I don't know what they need. They need something done about it, and something needs to be done about it. And I'll be obviously complaining to the WBO. But at the moment, because of the time difference, we've not managed to speak to anybody there. So if anybody's got any questions, please ask, and we'll do our best to deal with them.
Hello, Frank. You sound pretty annoyed and frustrated. Is this the most annoyed you've ever felt in boxing? I mean, there's been a few.
Yeah, I mean, it's a joke. It's a disgrace. I mean, why is it these guys always get injured 3 days before the fight? It always seems to happen like this. They never get injured 3 weeks ago. It's always, just on the cusp of the fight happening and leaving you to chase around, look for opponents. But what's even more disgusting is you're reading about it on the internet. I mean, somebody on the internet knows about it before I do.
So, is there anything you can do? I mean, can the WBO impose any...
all I'm concentrating at the moment, after the show we'll do all the complaints and everything, but at the moment all I'm concerned with and all I want is the WBO to do what they said they was going to do and strip this guy, because it's not the first time he's done this.
Yeah.
It's not the first time it's happened. He has a track record for this. He's a letdown, and I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. If he had a cut, what on earth was he? Would he get cut on the way to the airport? Why is my guy sitting at the airport waiting for him?
Yeah. Is there obviously it still goes ahead as a pay-per-view on Saturday night, but it leaves you with a big hole to fill.
Well, it does. I mean, provided we've got a title fight. Hopefully Nathan will, which we will know today. Nathan will still obviously be boxing beyond the show. The only thing is it won't be Braehmer in the opposite corner.
Right, okay.
It seems like he's never wanted this fight to me. It's taken us forever to try and get it on. Nathan was the interim champion. He's done that. All he's ever done, Nathan, is prepared to fight this guy. He's not ducked him. He's not. It's the other way round. And I feel so. He's actually. And when you think on paper it was a great fight, and he's had to be in the shadow. It's been in the shadow of the fight between James and George. And then this happens. But we will find a poet, and and I believe he will enter the ring as champion and defend the title.
I mean, has anyone at Universal spoke to you? I mean, because it's an appalling state of affairs.
No, I've not had a call from anyone from Universal. Dean's pal spoke to somebody this morning. I have not had one single call from him. No, sorry, what was that, Em? They were trying to get him last night, emails and nothing. I mean, nothing. No one to tell us, just left like that. Just outrageous.
Because, they're responsible for spoiling, or trying to spoil, a big night. What's the reasons behind leaving it so late as well? I mean...
you tell me. I don't know. This guy's, this fella's supposed to be here. I mean, we got someone waiting at the airport for him. He's not shown. We had a press workout planned for this morning with him, the whole thing. I mean, the fact was that got cancelled this morning because he missed his flight last night, and we were told he was coming this morning because it then made it too late for the workout. But the fact of the matter is he didn't even get on that plane. So, how did this, what's happened with the cut? I mean, all the questions you're asking, Pat, are all the questions I'm asking, I'm trying to get answers to.
Do you think then that, bearing in mind his past record, that he should be banned or something like that?
Listen, stripped. I couldn't give a shit what happens to him after that. Who cares about him? He's, who's ever going to want to put one of his fights on this? He has a track record for this. He's nuts, the guy.
Okay.
Hey Frank, just to get clear up, he was meant to fly in. Do you know what time he was meant to fly in on Tuesday?
What time was he meant to fly in, Em? What time was his flight? Yeah. 7:15 last night.
7:15, and there was a guy at Heathrow, I presume, from Hamburg.
And he was due to land at midday today, and we were told when. And that's what we were told, yeah. And then the guys went out at the airport, and then we found out that he wasn't going to travel this morning. That's when we found out on the internet.
Because I presume that story was up on the internet actually before the midday flight.
Well, that's where we found out.
Right. So,
what time do you know? Oh, sorry. They sent the hotel an email 8:30 this morning cancelling their rooms, but didn't call us.
With how many people you're speaking to now? Is it likelihood to?
What do you mean? Fight? Oh no.
Other fighters, opponents.
Yeah, I don't want to get. I don't want to get into that. We will announce this afternoon an opponent. So I just want to get an opponent first of all.
And presumably you got to wait till Puerto Rico wakes up to
correct.
Speak to people.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Frank. Speak to you later.
Right. Frank, obviously your sort of demand, although it's probably not worth it now, medical certificates and photographs and things like that. But what is the situation with the WBO? Didn't they threaten to strip Braehmer before?
They did. Absolutely, they did, and that's what we expect. We hope they're going to comply with what they said they were going to do. As regarding a medical, we got a medical clearance, which we've been asking for 2 weeks for our insurance. Finally came in 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, he was fit to fight.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Ken.
Frank, the other lads have asked the questions I was going to ask, obviously, but would you brand this as probably the most unprofessional act? And you've seen a few in your time.
Well, it must be, mustn't it? The guy's not, for them not even to contact, they take the trouble to cancel room in hotels. They tell us that he's going to be on a 12 o'clock flight. They tell us that he missed the flight. So obviously yesterday, they weren't saying he had a cut eye yesterday. He got the cut eye between, because if he was flying out at 12 o'clock today, he's got the cut eye between missing the flight and arriving at 12 o'clock today.
I know we obviously, you'd like sanctions taken against him, but surely the promoters at Universal, they should get a red card.
They're promoters. They should know better. I mean, you're in the business of promoting. That's what you do, and it's like no one cares. It's not my show, so what do I got to worry about?
But if you acted like that, you'd expect some kind of sanction, wouldn't you?
Well, of course you would, but that's going to be up to that has to be sorted out next week. I mean, what I want, I want the ultimate sanction that he gets stripped of his title.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't deserve to. He's not acted like a champion. He doesn't deserve it. I mean, there should be some consideration shown by everybody to Nathan Cleverly, who's a really innocent party in this, and the fans who bought tickets.
Yeah, and he's been preparing for a fighter of one style, and he might
Southpaw.
And
as I say, you can bet your boots where he's going to wind up with an orthodox guy, having prepared diligently to fight a southpaw.
Yeah. Well, best of luck in your search for an opponent, Frank.
Cheers, mate.
Hi, Frank. I just wondered if you're going to contest their claim that he's got a cut eye. I mean, could you do that with the WBO?
Do you know what? I hear what you're saying. The whole thing, to me, Nick, doesn't mean it means shit. Who cares what he's got? He's not here. And all I care about now is my guy getting the championship and being able to defend it. I don't give a... My thoughts are not on his cut, Universal or anything at the moment, because that's not going to change the predicament we're in. We need to deal with the reality of the situation. All that crap can be dealt with next week.
Okay. Are you thinking about compensation at all? Is that possible?
Well, we'll look at the contract and see where we are, but, let's see. Let's first of all watch it. The compensation for me is for Nathan Cleverly, for the WBO to do what they said they were going to do. If he don't show up or he doesn't fight for any reason, that Nathan be declared the champion. After all, he fought for the interim title because this guy was refusing to fight him.
Hello, Frank. A lot of sympathy for you, and also for Nathan. When did you tell Nathan, Frank, and what was his? I can only assume. I can imagine what his reaction was.
We told him at 10:30 this morning, and he was absolutely proverbial sick as a pig or parrot, whatever it is.
I presume it's a follow-up to that, Frank.
That's putting it politely.
That's putting it mildly, yes. I presume once it sank in, but is he quite? There's a lot of tickets sold for this, isn't there? Is he dead keen to get in the ring with anybody you can obviously get a hold of?
Well, he is, but his last fight was a problem. Remember the guy who was fighting last time pulled out last minute, and it brought him down. And I talked to him this morning about you can't get yourself in that position again. You've got to. Unfortunately, you've got to get on with it.
I'm also sure, Frank, that Nathan would have wanted to win a world title in the ring, wouldn't he?
Well, of course. That was what it's all about. I think he said that from day one. That's where he wants to do it, to beat the guy. But you can't. This fella's done his best not to be in the ring for over nearly 18 months.
Indeed. Last question, Frank. Has Jurgen Braehmer been paid any money at all so far, or
was he paid any money? Thankfully, no.
Oh, good afternoon, Frank. Obviously, sorry that you're in this situation at the moment. You did mention earlier you don't want to talk too much about the opponent you've maybe got lined up. There's all sorts of rumours, obviously, around at the moment. You said this guy's a ranked fighter. Is he ranked by the WBO at the moment? Is that something you can disclose at this stage?
We're looking at 3 opponents at the moment, and they're all ranked.
Is it fair to say, obviously, with the time frame and these parameters, that they're already in training for maybe another fight, but obviously this could take precedence? Correct. Excellent, that's fine. That's all I need to know.
The problem is they have to make the weight. That's the problem.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's excellent. Thanks very much for your help with that, Frank. Appreciate it.
Hi, Frank. All right.
Hello, mate.
It's obviously the last you touched on already, but Nathan's last fight, he was changed opponent at the last minute, and he sort of said how much it affected him negatively, and it was, he'd been preparing for something different. Are you worried about the danger if this does become his first title defence, that he's going to be going in cold, and perhaps he's a bit down in the dumps as well about the way it's come about?
Yeah, well, he was all those things, but they are told, put it blunt. I said, it's no good feeling sorry for yourself. We all feel sorry for what's happened. We're all different ways, pissed off, but you've got to be positive. This is a chance. This is a big chance for you to shine. If you're declared champion, you're going to go and defend. It's going to be another notch on your belt, and you just move forward to what the ultimate is, which is to unify the titles, and that is what he must remain focused on. He can't, in any shape or form, start, thinking why and what for. It doesn't mean anything. All of that does not mean a row of beans. All he needs to be worried about is fighting, and hopefully we get the name sorted out tonight. He can be the guy that he needs to think about and just take all his frustrations out on them.
Brilliant, thanks.
He's lucky he can do that. Unfortunately, we can't take our frustrations out on people like that.
Hi, Frank. Yeah, it's just an extension to what you've already talked about. My question's kind of been asked. So, under any circumstances, Nathan will be fighting, regardless if it's a totally different style of fighter. He'll still go ahead and fight somebody on Saturday night.
Sorry, he still will go ahead. Yeah, he still will fight. In fact, he'll fight on Saturday night. We just had an email come in, which is Dave. Oh, sorry. Oh, this is the one saying that. This is after we found out. This is the one talking about cancelling their rooms. So regarding your question, Ron, hopefully we'll go ahead and the opponent, we get a decent opponent, the fight will go ahead.
Okay, cheers, Frank.